Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab, but I'm in the last page of the book. We finishing the Mysteries of Isis. Y'all didn't even know. See how you do when you're having fun? Time sure fly. Hope you get comfortable because this is the last lesson. Let's get it started. And this is the accumulation of everything we done went through. You should know one thing. A question was asked to me. How do you know if you're enlightened or not? When you reach the realization of wisdom, that's knowing or having knowledge, intuitive knowledge. Intuitive meaning inside you naturally. You ain't gotta go outside yourself to get it. When you have fulfilled all the stuff that we've been going through, this is the culmination of it. Let's go. Rightisms, 25 rules live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my be true. All right, right thinkers. The realization of wisdom is how you know you are enlightened. That's when the light go on. Ding! You'll know. Let's go. So the practice of right thinking philosophy, the wisdom of yoga, it leads you to obtain intuitional knowledge, aka self-knowledge, which is the best knowledge. Intuitional knowledge means that through the practice of purification of one's heart and mind, how? By listening, reflecting, and meditating upon the teachings that you're receiving on a daily basis. A spiritual aspect, which is you, right thinkers, has to go beyond the realm of your mental thoughts, the egoistic mental thoughts, the low life mental thoughts, to concepts, and has to realize what the truth of the teachings within him or herself. You got to experience this for yourself to know if it's true or not. Cause somebody said, cause it's written, cause I'm reading it, don't mean a damn thing. You have to implement it to know for yourself. Okay, that's the concept. But it is an experience that everyone has to have for him or herself that goes way beyond rationalization. Okay, so therefore, it is not the knowledge that comes from this information that you get from the books. No, it is a knowing by experience as opposed to thinking or having logic, reason, and understanding. No, you need to have the experience. So you, the aspirant, has discovered God. How? By intuition. It becomes innate in your mind, and it is subtle that it can be pure through the illusions. It can be pure through the illusions of the world and one's ego. You can believe that you enlightened. You can believe and feel like you reach God. But if your ego is telling you that, it's lying to you. Your veil of aset, of ignorance, have to be lifted by you, by doing the things you need to do. And the universe is this goddess and the human heart is the goddess dwelling place. Listen, listen. There is no difference, right? This knowledge cannot be known by mere mortal. She's been telling you that for longest. I said, got Ra's name by what? Pestering and pestering and pestering and do what she needed to do to get him to submit. You can't recognize Aset with mortal eyes, meaning these eyes, but by the one who has transcended the ego identity through the understanding and gaining knowledge that has realized that there is no individual. There's no I. There's no ego self. It's all one. We are all one. But there is only one goddess in the form of human beings. Again, pay attention. Listen. Here we go. Plants, stars, as well as intelligence, love, righteousness, and truth. These are all aspects of God. These are all qualities that you can imply and use. This is the highest goal of what we call wisdom and knowledge. That's being able to go beyond wisdom itself. Well, what's high? What's like that? And to know God by your own experience with Him and becoming one with God. That's knowing thyself. That's becoming spiritually enlightened. That's becoming Christ conscious. All those things you call, but when you actually experience for yourself, that's how you would know. And God was what? Always in one's heart. You just got to put the heart and the mind together. That's my heart, mind coherence. That's the moral marriage, the spiritual marriage that you have to have within yourself. That's the wisdom that you will gain from doing the things you need to do. And this is a process that we call spiritual practice. You practice it. Does not bring God, no, to the aspirant. Rather, it allows him or her, you, to what? Discover God within yourself, who was always there. I know that for a fact. I tell you the story all the time. When I was rolling, God was the last thing on my mind. And he ain't care two shits about God. All right? I saw him on his deathbed, looking for God, begging for God. Too late, my man. Okay? And I witnessed that. So I made the decision to what? Change my life, and I discovered God within myself. So that's the transformation. That's the change that you got to have for yourself. And every individual is 9 billion people on this earth. There's 9 billion ways to get to God because everyone has it for him or herself. If you don't reach it, you got nobody to blame but yourself. So I'm not responsible for his iniquities. Love him, but dude, you didn't do a few things you need to do for you. That's got nothing to do with me. I corrected mine. And who was what? Again, with you all the time. They always tell how Jesus said, never need to. Yeah. But what they saying is, you ain't going to call on God. You ain't going to feel you until what? You ain't got nothing else. That's when you had to go to, that's all you got. That's all you got. That's what I found. Okay, I know for a fact. I was looking for him until I had nothing else. So I know firsthand. Thus, when you have wisdom, I practice yoga. I'm a practicing yogi. In wisdom of yoga is never disturbed. Listen, this is important. When you obtain the wisdom from yoga, practicing, putting it to use daily in your daily life, now the world, no matter how involved in action he or she may seem to be, their minds is always immersed in the thought of being one with God. That's being God conscious. I coined the phrase and they're putting it right to use. I just said, be God conscious. They saying, immerse yourself in the thought of God all the time. Same thing. And therefore, no objects, no situations, no worries, etc. Hakuna Matata, okay, of life have no effect on them. Your eternal spirit don't go through nothing, okay? It don't feel good, bad. It don't give a good hoot. It just wants to go home and be comfortable forever. Can you do that for it? That's all they care about. So, but most people, and don't be most people, the crowd, the masses, don't be part of them. Average ain't what you want to be. Most people live their whole life according to their egoistic understanding and the egoistic world that they live in for themselves, selfish. And people go their whole life. It's a lot of them. Not I just happen to know him because he's mine. But he ain't no different than the rest of them doing the same thing. Moving on. Okay. Why? Because they believe that the world is in reality and that they must struggle in the world. He left home at 15 years old, 13 years old. Okay, so he going out to the world struggling, fighting the world. He been fighting it ever since. Okay, and at the end, he said, "I'm tired of the hustle. I'm tired of getting up." Dude, okay, ain't nothing I can do about that. He's done. Party's over. Okay, in this physical world. But in order for you to achieve any happiness in this physical world, you can do that. Thus, they are constantly thinking of what? Their past, with either a feeling of longing to return to summertime that they thought was joyous or with regret over something they thought was negative. He apologized to my mom before he died. Dude, a deathbed confession ain't getting you in the gates. Just want to let you know that. So if you thought that was the way, no, that wasn't that. You didn't spend your time to do nothing for nobody but you. You got no kick coming. In the end, that's just a fact, okay? So also, they think, watch this, about the future with longing, and they gain something, their desire, or with expectations that they will achieve some state of happiness or go to heaven with something they consider to be good or maybe happen to them. They don't have a clue. That's what the ego will do to you. It erases God out of your mind, and you don't know about him because you ain't thinking about nothing but yourself all the time. When you think about yourself all the time, you can't think about God, and you can't serve two masters. A sage is which I am. Through hard work and years put in, I didn't call myself a sage. I was given a title from what I was doing, first of all. But a sage, this is me. This is I can attest to. Is someone who has practiced and mastered the yoga of wisdom along with the other four, does not care for the past or the future. Why? These are understood to be just illusions of one's mind, just like the passing dream. You wake up and realize, it was just a dream. But when you was in it, it was all real. Okay? So only eternity is real. That's God. Just as the reality that's behind your dream in your mind at any moment with the simple thought, excuse me, I forgot, I missed the whole line. Just as reality behind your dream is you are the dreamer themselves. And though the enlightened mind of a sage can have experience of eternity at any moment with a simple thought, to go there mentally, bam, I'm right there. I'm there. Yeah. That place, that peace, okay, that you have inside yourself. Thus, a sage wakes up from this world of illusion, egoistic of the dream world and the individuality. A sage does not regret anything or long for any future developments. Why? Because he or she has attained all that there is to attain: God knowledge, the divine communion with your inner and your higher self. That's why when you get comfortable with your life, my mother says it best, I wouldn't trade this for nothing in the world. That means she reached a level that she's happy, she's content, and she's good at just living. That's when life is good. But the road that she took, she says she cries when she looked back over her life and the stuff that she did. That's a good life. That's a life well lived. Okay? Some people can't do that. So if you can do that, thumbs up to you. A sage, again, does not covet objects. Let me say it again. A sage does not and will not covet objects, things, material things. I don't have no love for nothing that's physical. Understand that. I've come to that realization for myself. And since a sage experiences for him or herself what? Oneness with God. You don't need nothing. You don't want for nothing. If you're at that level, that's what your conscious level is saying. Man, I got everything I need. And God gave it to us at birth. Our job is to find out before death, okay, who we are. And again, when you obtain experience oneness with God for yourself, who encompasses all objects, and the objects of the world are understood and experienced as part of one's own self. You are one with everything. Why? Because God is. And if you're one with God, that puts you in the club. You feel me? So how can one desire what one already has? If you're ignorant of that, you don't know you have everything. That's why you got to become conscious. That's when you realize, oh, I don't need none of that. Yeah, you can do without. I realized later on in life, a lot of things I can do without. What? I wanted them. I didn't need them. When I started doing it out of necessity, I left a lot of stuff go. Again, that's when you realize it ain't that important. Again, the path of wisdom means you are eradicating the negative ideas of one's ego. Ding, 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 ding. You have the ego under control. And this also implies the destruction of your lower nature. You killing it. You dismantling it. Okay? He got no say so. And its demonic qualities of your character. They include, this is what you have to get rid of. Quick to be angry. Hatred, a hater on somebody who's doing better than yourself. And greed, you never get enough of whatever it is you got. Lust, you always want the pleasures. Covetousness, you're always looking to have pleasure. Hypocrisy, you don't say what you do. Jealousy, you got dislike for somebody for what they have and what they're doing. That's all negative satanic qualities, and that's the egoistic, ignorant person. When you eradicate them out your character, you become a better person. That's how it's done. Nothing special, but understand what not to do and implement it. All of these is possible. Why? Because the underlying ignorance of one's mind has been eliminated. When you fill your mind up with things and stuff that's good and righteous, you don't have idle mind where the devil can coerce you to go chase that pretty girl, go get high, go do something that you know is wrong. And if you're weak and your discipline ain't up, you will fall victim to that. And everybody says, "Well, I just got weak at that moment. Yeah, that's why. I don't need to hear a bunch of excuses of why you did something wrong. God don't either. Understand that. So the path of wisdom bestows a formidable mental power, strength, which can manifest as a towering intellect over ignorance. This implies that now you have and you're using your ability to expand in the power of your memory, your intuition, and your better understanding of the fabric of creation as well as human nature and the understanding of oneness with God. Also, a sage can exert control over and have power of one's speaking, makaru, from the heart, so as to never utter evil or disrespectful words, unkind words, and to have the power of speaking with the truth in an artistic manner, which people can truly understand and even assimilate. That's what teachers do. I want you to understand the words that's coming out of my mouth. I don't want you to say, man, he's speaking way over my head. He's speaking in parables. I don't understand what he's saying. That's no use to me. I want you to understand what I'm saying. So I'm trying to break it down and make it real simple for you. That's called a synopsis. And a sage who has wisdom can exert immense control over what? Over their emotions. Right there. I'm a Capricorn, so I ain't emotional. But I learned to control emotion from my philosophy of study. So it goes perfect hand to hand. I'm not emotional. You should understand that. That just means that I had the power to control in the manner in which my personality manifests in this world. I'm not going to let you get me all crazy out of pocket, as my pastor say. I'm not going to let you take me to hell with you by getting me all out of pocket. I have control over my ego. That's what emotions. The ego is emotion. Okay. I got him so under control. Okay. Now though remaining internally at rest, which is your consciousness. Okay. And detached from the world and from people at all times. That's your higher self. It don't get involved in nothing. It don't give a good hoot about nothing. Except you coming to it, you recognizing him, and then y'all can go on for eternity. And at any moment, a sage can display empathy, compassion, sympathy, anger, or peacefulness as the situations of life requires in order to help encourage or to teach others on who's on their spiritual path, right thinkers? Meaning I'm going to handle every situation to my best ability. And I'm not going to freak out or get caught up in the situation emotionally and put myself in a bad predicament. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do it, okay? I can think and comprehend very well without getting emotionally involved. Make good decisions, sound observation, and be on point. Why? Yeah, I'm not involved. It ain't emotional to me. It's just what I do. As a judge, give me the facts. That's all I want to know. I don't give a damn what you think or how you feel. I care about what you know. If you can't articulate to me what you know, we don't need to have a conversation. Why? Because you can give me a bunch of stuff that don't do me no good. Your opinions and feelings don't mean nothing to me. So moving on. So as a sage, again, as a sage is free from grief. I don't get caught up in death. Okay, no, don't do that either. Again, these are all qualities that you claim to master, and when the situation come up, you fall apart. You haven't mastered that aspect of your character. If you claim to be a sage and somebody dies, you you lose it. No, that ain't what sages do. So again, what we got? I lost my place. Free from grief. Okay, a sage is free from grief since there is what? No death or loss of any kind to worry about when you reach the level that I'm at. A sage of wisdom, knowledge of self, is not subject to the pettiness of or to the opposites of human vanity or selfishness. I don't exhibit those qualities because I have no use for them. They got no purpose for me. I have no purpose for them. So I eradicate them out of my character, out of my personality. A sage's happiness, listen, is not dependent upon objects, people, or situations in this physical world. My happiness comes from me having my connection to my higher self, me knowing myself, me doing the best for being my best self. Those are the things that make me happy. Therefore, he or she is not in any competition with anyone or discontent with any situation in their life. I don't give a good hoot about a whole bunch of stuff that don't pertain to me. I worry about me, and that's what they're telling you. The ego in a human being always and will always what? Desire something. It's never happy. It's never content. It's never at peace. Understand that. So if you are an egotistical person, you going through life catching hell. You ain't never at ease. You ain't never at peace. And when the hellhounds come for death, you get even worse. Why? Because you wasted all your time, and now it's about to be over. That's the ego running from the inevitable death. Okay, but the ego always desires something, either to acquire something in order for it to be happy, or to get rid of something because it is seen as a source of pain. Sound familiar? You know, people like that, they're always doing something, always got something going on, they never, steady. And since a sage has gone beyond their ego, there you go, he or she is not affected by their physical lower desires of the flesh for things that make the ego happy. I don't give a damn about my ego. It can want all it want. It ain't getting jack. Or to get away from things that makes it sad. Again, ego just want to have fun, just want everything they want. You know the kind of people? Ignorant, egoistic people. No matter what, they only want what they want, and they want it their way. Life take care of them. That's not your responsibility. Let life deal them the hand that they're going to get. Karma got perfect for them. But those who lead that egoistic life, watch this, they are always swinging from happiness to sadness, from elation to depression, good, bad, in, out. It's always something with them. They're always going through something. Never at peace. Watch this. But a sage who has obtained wisdom, knowledge of self, have discovered within themselves that eternal anchor which provides your internal equilibrium. that what keeps you grounded, that peace, that place within yourself, your inner peace, your harmony, that will allow you to see what all developments in the world with equal vision, third eye vision. You see it all, but you ain't got to partake in that nonsense. Seeing it is okay, but you don't have to partake in it because it's there. Thus, you, the sage, is not happy if there is $1 million in the bank. Now, I'm saying that, and I'm saying it, and hope you understand this, please. I don't give a damn if I got $1 million in the bank, or sad if there is only 100. That don't mean jack. And if it did, you're not a sage. You're not at the level. Why? Because you're worrying about stuff that sages ain't supposed to. That's why. And it's evident. If what they say don't match what they do, they're lying. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They can do, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm right here. But then they don't act it. So they're not that. Moving on. A sage cannot and should not be swayed from the path of righteousness, virtue, and truth. Why? Due to any personal desires. If your ego can sway you, coerce you, then you ain't totally committed to your higher self. You haven't gotten there yet. You still got some weaknesses, some chinks in your armor, okay? Many people can follow truth. Yeah, what? Until what? Now, let's find out what kind of person you are with yourself. This is your test. They can all follow truth until they are put in a situation wherein they have a choice to do something unrighteous to gain in order to get something, or they really want something that they really want, something that they really want. Many times their integrity is questioned, and they will what? Rationalize their desires and put in position to suppress their conscience, meaning they're going to do what's wrong. They're going to outthink themselves to make it justified. I did it with the drugs, so I understand. They're going to outthink their conscience. And watch this. The conscience is spelled CONSCIENCE. That means they're going to go against their hard conscience. When I made that drug deal 40-some years ago, my mind, my heart was saying, man, you don't need that. Man, don't do that. My ego, man, go get that money. Man, that's easy money. Just get that money, make that flip, and go about your business. That never happened. It never materialized. Okay, so why? But I didn't listen to my heart. I walked into a trap. Cost me 3 years of my life. But that was the best lesson I could learn in life. Why? I've never not listened to my heart ever since. That's why I can tell you it's spelled not the mind heart, not the conscious mind. The heart mind is spelled CONSCIENC. Let me wrap it up. My mom was there. In order to you to free to do what you want. Like, yeah, you put your heart, no, I got this, and the mind takes over. That's the ego. Okay? A sage is not susceptible to this form of delusion. There you go, right there. My ego is not going to sway me to go back and do the things I used to do for a quick buck or to get some self-gratification. No, not doing it. So when you straying from the path of righteousness, even in the slightest degree would lead you to worldly entanglements, and now you worry over one's actions. Now you done did something that you're responsible for. Okay? And they got to worry about what? The consequences of your action. When you did it, it was fun. Yeah, it was cool. Now you got to worry about it. If you do something you got to worry about, it ain't worth doing. That's what they said. If you done in the dark, it'll be brought to light. So if you cheating, you'll get caught eventually. So when there is righteousness, honesty, and these are qualities that I set forth important in my life. There is righteousness, honesty, and truth. There is no need for worry for the action that you perform. Why? They're good, they're righteous, and they're worth being blessed. That's how you get God's attention. Let me wrap it up. I'm taking it home. Most people have their feet on the earth with earthly concerns, but they have egoistic pursuits. They want to satisfy themselves, and they don't want anybody to know that. They want to on the low. See those guys who don't have their self out in front, hidden agendas. They want pleasures. Women, you believe in the hereafter? That man, Mr. Smooth Talking, Mr. Look So Good, you know what he thereafter? Okay, so their view of the sky, expansion, and consciousness is obstructed by the clouds of delusion and egoism, aka ignorance. So their minds is constantly agitated by the clouds of their own desires, fetters that they cause themselves, their own thoughts, negative, and imaginations of what? Things that they want, things that they don't have. They're always chasing something. They always got something they don't have, always want something that they haven't gotten. Those people. A passing cloud seems to create a different development in the sky, but it do not affect the sky. So too, just like the ignorant mind or the mind of a sage, a mind of a sage of wisdom is unaffected like the vast sky with its deep, dark, infinite essence of truth. A sage does not imagine he or she knows all that is to be known about them, and it abides in them that knowing all at all times. That's being God conscious. You knowing all, meaning you and God become one, so you know all. Wrapping it up, the I am, one with God, is transcended now instead of I am one with God. Come on now, what do you say? The understanding and this clarity is that I am God. Rise up and recognize your true essence. Take your place on the throne and be who you were born to be, God. And I am all that is. All proceeds from me. And I am the innermost reality of creation. You making your claim, I abide in the hearts of all human beings, and I am the source of all existence of the past, present, and future. This is the lofty goal of what? Your yoga, right thinker of wisdom, which has been handed down from the time of immemorial, from the divine to the sages and the saints of all country, of all ages, and all generations. And it is the highest achievement of one's life, and is the object of real attainment in this human life to what? Know thyself, reach knee highs, become one with God, and know what? You are God. This the end of the book. It says, seeketh. This is my girl. I said, you see her in all her glory? She says, in the end, it reads, seeking thou God within thyself. Thou is seeking for the beauty that's in yourself. One is the path that leadeth unto it. Devotion joined with intuitional, aka self-knowledge, will get you there. That's the ancient Egyptian proverb, and it says in closing, I'm closing the book on this one. May you discover the oneness of creation and the non-dual essence of the innermost self where within you. Dua Aset Letre Ah. That means adoration to Aset, the great goddess. Hope you enjoyed the lessons, right thinkers. I know it took a little minute, but in calling everything for a reason, this was a good lesson. Hope you got it. And from this point on, I'm in a new book. I'll find out what it is next. But right now, in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I've never known my right thinkers who now understand realization and wisdom and passed away. Knowing thyself, you know the real deal. Having wisdom and being conscious of who you are. That's it. Trust me.